Alright, here's what they look like after cleaned up. Nice and smooth and better. So he asked if there was any better after I did it. I told him, run your finger across it. What was your response?
It's much smoother.
Much smoother. You run your finger across now, you run over the edge, you don't feel anything. It's like going over an edge versus here versus sharp edge like this. It's sharp, this is smooth, see? Same thing happens here. Except this airflow here is going a lot faster than my finger is going across this. So it gives you a nice smooth transition. And you get fancy if you want. These are 3-angle valve jobs here. 3 angles on one valve.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Because these are Harley valves, they suck. See, if I did the fancy job, I would have ground yours 3 angles. It's being a cheap job, see? Just feel that angle, the transition right there. Feel the other one.
Right.
It's less.
Yeah.
It flows right
Just
in.
ramps a little less.
This one still has a sharp edge right there.
Yeah, it steps.
So, I don't know if you can see the difference, but. So this is the high-end job. High-end application. For the cheap guys, we use a cheap job. That's how we do it around here. Okay, so which one is this? This has no marking.
No mark is rear.
I don't see any marking. Yours 2 marked?
Yes.
Alright. These are rear?
Yes.
Alright, so I gotta do the rear first. Where's the front? Where's the heads at? Oh, there they are. Okay, we gotta work on this. Here. Damn, tight. Tight again. These valve guys aren't worn very far. If they were worn a lot, they would just drop right at the bottom. They don't want to go in there. So this intake here is really tight. Put the smaller one. Goes in further on. Alright, so you can use 2 different ones. Put on my workbench down here. Workbench now. Alright. So, this is see how it's bigger than exhaust?
Yes.
So it'll cut. And it might catch an aluminum right in the corner here though, because they're pretty tight on an Evo. So now we got something a little bit closer to the edge than we can use. See, something like that. See, that's too small. That one's too big. This one's 55 degrees. That's for performance applications. Higher performance applications. There we go. That one's closer, see. If you're not sure what angle it is, you check it. See if it rolls the same? Should be the same. See, it's a safe stone. See,
Exactly.
It's not broken or anything.
No rust, no nothing.
No,
No signs of wear.
Yeah, it's got all the stuff you need to know about it, good stuff. Yeah. You can also take a 45 and go like that, and it should be the same angle, but it could be off a couple, you wouldn't see it, but it should be pretty close. So I like that one. With your intake valve. So the intake valve, we need to take the intake one. See, that one's pretty close. That's my new stone. There's the old stone. See, it's getting a little worn out. It's starting to get a little thinner.
Yeah.
That's going to turn into exhaust pretty soon.
Repurposed.
We'll have to sharpen. We'll have to cut off that straight up and down to get rid of the spinner. But for now, that'll still work for an intake. See, that one's got a little crack going too. Defective merchandise around here. Alright, so I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use those two there for now. At least I'm going to attempt to. What's first, intake or exhaust? Let's do the exhaust. Real fast like that, it'll cut it. See the mark?
Mm-hmm.
It's hitting, cutting heavy
Yeah.
here, not really hitting over here on this side. See, the seat's harder than the valve because see how the seat doesn't have a bunch of pitting in it?
Right.
The valve did. So we're a little bit faster now. It's not quite coming in yet there. It's hitting pretty good on that side. So now we take my pilot, turn it 180. Just in case there's any grit or crap under there.
Mm-hmm.
Rarely does that happen. Give it another kiss. Okay, now it looks like it's in all the way around now. It's a little light right over through here, but it's in. So we'll give it one more flash hit just to make sure everything's smooth and good. Looks nice and shiny all the way around now. So there's a one angle valve job. Two angles on the valve, one on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Now the old angles are still in there, they already cut. Flip it around up. Actually, I'll put this head over here. Now if you push on this thing sideways one way or the other, it will cut off center. So you want to hold it where it's kind of semi straight up and down. This head doesn't want to do that, but
Like a nice foot prop.
adjustable angles and
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
Okay, so this one here is barely cutting on this. Well, it's not even cutting at all on that side. It's cutting on this side. There's a whole lot. So, turn 180 just like the last one. I don't feel anything stupid going on.
How much pressure are you applying?
Very little. See a little pitting going on right there on the edge, but it's cleaning.
Yes.
You can see little pits here is wandering through. Everything else is smooth, so one more to clean that area up. Most of the weight's on that. You're not letting this lay on there.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually holding it up a little bit. There you go. No more pitties through there. If you push on it, it knocks it off center. It won't be concentric.
Right.
It'll cut a lot more than I want to cut. I'm not trying to cut. I'm trying just to surface smooth
Sure.
it up. I'm not trying to cut. Need to clean the hole out a little bit because you got grit in there now. So you run it a couple times like this, clean it up each time. The dirty rag has a little bit of oil residue in it, so it helps lubricate and clean at the same time. When I'm twisting it, I am pushing with it, but I'm also feeling it's nice and smooth. There's no grit feel to it. If it feels any grit or anything, you gotta clean it.
Right.
If you have anything on the stem, it kicks it off center and the valve won't seal. So being an Evo, you get in the chamber over here, so you gotta be careful how big you are. this one's more pitted out. See, the intake seat is softer. See all the pits in it?
Mm-hmm.
So this time here, it looks like the seat has more pitting than the valve did. Or at least they're about equal.
Yeah.
Versus the exhaust, the seat's really hard. The valve is hard, but the valve is a lot softer than the seat is.
Mm-hmm.
Now we cut off the corner a little bit, side, so not concentric. So I'm going to give it my normal twist just one more time to make sure. If it repeats, still off on the same side, I know my pilot's straight, or there's nothing under it.
Mm-hmm.
If it moves as you do that, then your pilot's bent, then that's a problem. I barely hit it at all on that one. So you can see it has the same marks.
Mm-hmm.
They cut identically, so when I twisted 180 it made no difference because my pilot's straight. And that means I have nothing under inside the guide, between the guide and the pallet either. Put a little more weight on it that time, so it'll cut. So you can see how it's still got the pit marks over there, but it's coming in over here now. See now you got more pits over here developing.
Mm-hmm.
These pits are pretty deep, so I have to push harder. Harder mean we just let the whole thing, weight of this go in there.
Right.
But not quite. I'm still holding back about a third of the weight. I don't want all that weight on there. You just keep going until you get no more marks. So see, there's very, very fine pitting over there because that's the last point to clean. So this side over here is cleaned up pretty good now.
Mm-hmm.
You can still see the ghosting of the pits in there, and the reflection of the light. Looking pretty clean now. See, I just look at the shadows of all I'm looking at. You can still see small little pits right there. You see them in front of my finger?
Mm-hmm.
See that pit in there? Right through the middle of the seat. Just like two right together.
Yes.
There's another one over here. So that's what you got to clean up. And you have to go deeper. See that pit's deep?
Yeah.
See, I'm cutting quite a bit of metal for what I want to do, but now is that pit going real deep straight in? Sometimes they do. If so, I leave them. But you can't tell how deep they are until you do a couple grinds, and if it doesn't clean, I don't keep going deeper. See, those pits aren't going away.
No, still there.
So I'm not going to keep going deeper. They're obviously pretty damn deep. They're not right together, so it blows straight through, but they're right on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like keep grinding away. Do one more grind. So they might just all of a sudden disappear, or they might stay in. Looks like they came out. They're almost gone.
Yeah, almost.
So I'm looking at how wide this is becoming now over here, because I keep going deeper and
Right.
deeper and deeper. So I think I'm going to quit.
I was thinking that valve.
The wider that seat gets, the less power you get. That one doesn't even go in the hole. That was a tight one. So the front intake is your tight guide.
Mm-hmm.
So we should measure the valve and make sure the front intake is the smallest valve, not the biggest. A lot of ghosting through there on that side. All the way around over to here. And over here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pitting on this seat. So this seat's the worst seat. Even though it has the best guide, this is actually the worst seat in the whole motor. Very light pressure, but a lot of RPM. See all the pitting right through there.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it cleaned up pretty good. A lot of pitting on this side too. So the less load you put on it, the more it spins straight. If you push really hard, it just shoves off to one side on the taper and it won't grind true. Seat's getting really wide on this side. It's pretty narrow on that side, see? Big pit right in the middle. Big pit. That's up on the top of the guide, I think. Top of the seat. It's hard to tell. There's 3 or 4 pits through there too, they're all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, deep. Really deep. Most of the other ones went out. One more. Pretty nasty looking. That's a huge, huge pit. I'm not sure what the seat is on that one. Alright. Do a different angle on top. See the angle change?
Mm-hmm.
Or aluminum. Cut aluminum. Let's see. Probably nothing smaller. A little bit smaller, but probably too small. Yeah. Too small to do anything. Looks like the same size as that one. This one's actually bigger. That was one that was too small, I think. Yep. Alright. So use this one. This one's going to cut aluminum a little bit. See, I cut it down to here.
Mm-hmm.
So that real bad pitting is above the seat. That's what I wanted to see.
Doesn't look like you got the aluminum
I cut the aluminum
either. No, just a little.
right there. It barely touched it. It did touch it though. So looks like the seat is going to be all right. So most of the pitting is on the top part, but it doesn't matter. So you do 3 angles, you just do 3 stones. You get the 45, these are your 30s. And you have like a 60 or a 70. And a thicker one, straight up and down.
And just stiff it to marry it with the 3 angles of the valve.
There, see how steep that one is? You narrow the seat up to where you want it diameter-wise. I didn't highlight the stone, so it's hard to see where the actual seat angle is, but it's right. It's about there where the seat changes. This is the upper angle above that. It's really hard to see it, but when you lap it, you'll see it. All right, got to see what that looks like. Polish off when I'm done. Okay, where is the blood back in my knee?